Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and this is the U.S.S. Bellerophon, which is a bit of a homecoming for me. This is the pack that kind of started it all uh, in terms of me being the reviewer, the face in a way. This was the first time I ever got insider info about Attack Wing, and it launched this channel into the stratosphere. It was a long time ago, but yeah, the Bellerophon. It's an intrepid class. It's not Voyager, and it's not as good as Voyager. Nobody's going to pretend it is. But as a 4-2, 4-5, with double crew, double weapon, and a tech slot, there's room for it to exist, and it's a defensive ability here. When defending during the compare results step, you may disable two of your active shields to cancel one of the attacking ship's hit results. Now, I think what you end up wanting to do is run any kind of shield upgrade on it. You can run advanced shields, which uh, adds two shields, and then for an action, you can discard the card, repair three shields. That's one way you could go. You could also run reinforced shields, but regardless, you need to add more shields to this ship. And by doing that, you're going to keep your ship alive longer. I think you also want to add another tech slot and then run it's the tech, it's Dominion tech from the Dreadnought. I think it was the Dreadnought card pack. But basically, it makes the attacking ship roll less dice based on how they attack you. Um, so that's kind of how you make the Bellerophon more defensive. And of course, you could always do the kind of the normal things: bring Riker in, bring a defensive-minded captain, take the evade action. But you also need to bring offense to this ship, and there's ways to do that, right? You can have battle stations. You can have a captain that brings battle stations. I like Picard 8 on this, rolling one less attack dice, setting the crit, um, getting a defense roll. I consider the Bellerophon a mission specialist ship. When you need to stay alive, when you need to roll those extra dice, um, when you need to have a little bit of cancellation in your build. It's kind of a third defensive ship in conjunction with the Sutherland, the Enterprise D. I don't think it's as good as those because you are giving something up to get that cancellation, but it's got potential. Um, Specifically, the potential of a six straight, and nebulas and galaxies just don't fly like that. This is more maneuverable than those ships. So, if you need to go fast, if you need to do something like that, you got potential. Again, I'm saying potential. That's what this ship is. William Ross is both a captain and the admiral, I believe admiral. Yeah, six skill, 4 points, talent slot, action. Target a ship within range 1 to 2 that's in your forward firing arc. If the target ship attacks this round, that ship rolls one less attack die this round. Um, I still think I'd rather take an evade action. And that's my problem with this. Now, I can make a given ship less potent, but um, it's just not the same. Um, and there's too many stipulations, right? I'm giving up an action. They've got to be in my forward firing arc. They've got to be at range. Um, and and there's just too many things that can go wrong there. So that's why Ross just it's a shame because he's such a pivotal character in Deep Space Nine, and the one version of him we get in the game is not good. I do appreciate him being a 2 skill boost, but yeah, I would like to see a better version of him. Section 31 as a talent, so this kind of tells you where the rest of this pack is going. Independent, and at any time you may discard this card to achieve the effect of spending either a battle station, an evade, or a target lock token as if you had spent the appropriate token from beside your ship. You can only use the target lock effect for re-rolling your dice. So I like that this can be used as the quality portion of a secondary weapon of a torpedo. You can spend a target lock to fire the weapon, and then you've still got quality built in. This is it is a choice. It's one-time use. I think I'd be okay with this card in play as time tokens. I think that would be reasonable because it's not amazing, but it's also cheap enough. I'm okay with the one-time use, and that feels fine to me too. Tri-Cobalt device. Remember, Tri-Cobalt torpedoes or a Tri-Cobalt device of some kind was used to destroy the Caretaker's array. 6 points for 6 dice. You're spinning a target lock, discarding the card to fire at range 2 to 3. Has to be in your forward firing arc. Costs 4 more points for anything other than an Intrepid class. My big thing is, where's the quality? Where's the extra effect? Just giving me a bunch of dice isn't very good, and I'm paying 6 points for 2 extra dice. Not worth it. Variable geometry pylons. Cool feature of the Intrepid. Not a cool attack wing feature. For 5 points, spend your tech slot. Before you move, you may disable this card to increase or decrease your speed by 1. If you do so, treat the maneuver as white. And you can't perform any actions on the round you use this ability. That's the nail in the coffin of this card. With Chemocyte being in the game, and you increase the speed of the maneuver by 2, keep the color. Here, your increase or decrease by 1, treat it as white, which is fine. It would be brokenly good if you could use it on another ship class, because then you could use some come abouts and make them white. But it's locked to Intrepid class, and it's a disable, and then you lose the action. And I just don't get it. It's part of the ship, and there's like nothing needed to happen to make this card worse. It's expensive. It's already a disable. Just increase or decrease the speed by 1. Treat it as a white. Call it a day. Luther Sloan. 3-point crew. You don't pay a faction penalty to put him on a Fed ship. Makes sense. During the planning phase, after all ships have been assigned a maneuver dial, you may discard this card, look at up to 3 ships' maneuver dials, and then you may change your chosen maneuver. I love the thematicism of this card. I think this fits into Sloan having answers. I think we could see a new version of Sloan go down a totally different route with time tokens and disables and whatnot. But in terms of him, like, knowing a bunch of info and then acting upon it in his best interest makes perfect thematic sense. The downside is, outside of a couple of missions and new players, Sloan has basically no use in the game. It does not benefit me to know what your fleet's going to do. I would rather see Sloan have a Who was it? Was it the new Tomalak? Anyway, the Romulan captain that kind of controls actions of opponents. That would be powerful. That would be Sloane's way of manipulating things. And that would really um, speak to his having his control in everything. Um, but yeah, that's it for this pack. The best card here is Section 31. And even that's not an amazing card. The pack shows its age, shows a design style of, hey, it's a prize ship, so it's not going to be the best, which is fine. I make no justification, no argument that prize ships should be amazing. It brought in another Intrepid, which is cool. I just hate that it took really good characters like Sloane and Ross um, and said, meh, we're going to hide you here. Never use you anywhere else. That's the downside for me. The Bellerophon's interesting. I think it could get used in some different ways. I think people should explore it in some different ways. But, yeah, again, this pack is not worth chasing down and paying ridiculous prices for. But I think there are some fun cards to at least kind of try and mess around with. So, anyway, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.